To open this video, I'm going to look at the last 30 years of presidential election results, and I'll share my thoughts about it. In 1992, Clinton won the election with 44.9 million votes to George H.W. Bush's 39 million. Of course, Ross Perot was in there too at 19.7 million. Then in 96, Clinton won again with 47.4 million to Bob Dole's 39 million, and Ross Perot getting 8 million votes. In 2000, Bush won the Electoral College with 50.4 million votes to Al Gore's 50.9 million votes. In 2004, Bush won 62 million to John Kerry's 59 million. Then comes 2008, and Obama wins in a landslide. People were sick of Bush and just wanted him gone. And Obama was using social media. He was black. He had been anointed the Black Messiah by the media. And it was game over. John McCain had no idea the tidal wave that was coming his way. 69.4 million people voted for Obama, compared to only 59.4 for McCain. Then along came Mitt Romney, who got 1 million more votes than McCain did. And Obama actually lost 4 million votes compared to 2008. And then along comes Trump and Hillary. Trump got 62.9 million, and Hillary got 65.8 million. I remember being happy that our side won, but also incredibly depressed that more people in the end chose Hillary after a year and a half of campaigning and everything we learned about her and had already known about her. And following the abortion of the presidency of Obama, who in their right mind would want more of this nonsense? How could almost 66 million people stare a lie in the face and still vote for it? It's very confusing to me. To me, it was so obvious who to vote for. I would never, in a million years, consider voting for the other side. How could it ever just be 50-50? And who were these independents that seemed so important for candidates to sway? Little dweebs like Ken, that's who. Idiots who have been so out of it for their whole lives until the media told them to care during an election cycle, and so now they have no idea who to vote for because they have no principles, and it could just go either way. That's how blind they've been. And let's be real, we all know who he voted for in the end. And we all know the story from there. Trump broke the system and broke every liberal's brain. We got to see the system flex every muscle we didn't even know it had. And it turns out we're not just fighting against one party. We're fighting the whole shebang. Remember when it was a controversial statement to talk about the deep state? To have that level of naivete again. Over the last 5 years, learning how power actually works has been a massive black pill for me. The most important lesson is realizing that there can be no bottom-up movements that will make a difference. That's incredibly depressing. The realization that public opinion is formed top-down rather than bottom-up explains so much of what we see, and it was a real eye-opener for me. Those numbers I showed at the start are explained by top-down politics. Almost every right-wing win was a fluke, or during wartime, or an electoral college victory. They show the true progress that the left has made in controlling minds and narratives. The state has been creating little NPCs through public schools and state-ran institutions and propaganda ever since the end of World War II. Even the political parties have been carefully sculpted to the whims of a few elites. Academic Agent put out a video on the creation of the New Left, and Keith Woods recently made one for the right. I'll have those linked in the descriptions, and they are highly valuable to see through the illusion of choice that we have in our system. Why am I ranting about all of this? Well, in 2016, I was obsessed with what the hell was going on in people's minds. And in the last 5 years, I figured it out. Everything is top-down and not bottom-up. We live in 1984, where the levels of power are so far behind the curtain and guarded and sealed shut that there's almost nothing we can do to change any of it through old-school democratic means. And the sooner that conservatives realize this, the faster we can abandon the idea of changing people's minds through the conventional route. Talk radio makes no sense if bottom-up change doesn't work. Ben Shapiro destroying libs with facts and logic doesn't work if bottom-up is not how power is changed. Rand Paul humiliating Fauci in Congress, it does nothing. These are simply virtue signals to the base, but nothing is actually being done that threatens the left in any serious way. Now, none of this is to say that some minds can't be changed. It's only to say that we can't save this thing by voting our way out or adding more people to our group to go and vote. Revolutions happen between already existing groups of elites, not by the plebs at the bottom who get real indignant every 4 years and whose opinions on things just change in the wind. And I recently saw an interview with Peter Hitchens who summarized my feelings extremely well. And I want to end this video with that clip. So I'll see you all in the next video. Enjoy this clip by Peter Hitchens. Peace.
I believe that I have, over several years, I'm a one-man think tank. I've examined so many of the crises of our society. I've done an awful lot of research on it. I've established to my own satisfaction, and have never been contradicted by my opponents in terms of the research that I've done, so many problems which I've delineated and come up with answers to. And I might as well have spent the whole time on the beach or in the pub. Nothing that I have said has ever made the slightest difference. There is no point of connection between anything that I've said or done and the political system. I cannot make any impact whatsoever. I might as well not have bothered. And so it's hard for me to say to other people, you go off and do this time-wasting thing. You go off, waste your time doing the work, doing the research, finding out what's wrong, coming up with the answers to it, and then being told that nobody wants to listen to you. You can't get airtime. The political parties have absolutely no interest in even hearing what you say, and hearing people. And this I repeatedly find, particularly over the drugs controversy. Hearing people, after I have spoken in the same room as them, continue to say things which I have established to be untrue, as if they hadn't even heard what I said. And you have to go through that to understand just how devastating it is to any kind of belief that any action that you might take will have any effect. We all know the biblical injunction, whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. Well, I believe I've done that, and the result of it in material temporal terms has been 0 or less than 0 over many years. Well, I draw a lesson from that.
I'm going to
The temporal stuff is just a waste of time.